You were using this part of the mirror.
I was wondering why it sucks so bad.
You should try using
The mirror was.
You were literally just looking in the.
I was looking on the back side of the mirror. I was like, this mirror sucks. It's so bad.
Oh, it's in the coolant.
Oh, it's in my face! Oh, he's directly below this.
I don't want to play anymore.
Do you ever wonder what the allure is of having a modified WRX?
What, besides having it parked in the garage because it doesn't work?
Or parked outside your house because you're scared to drive it.
Many of those are good options, but we're here to try to see if we can figure out why Ty's car doesn't run.
Oh, I know why.
Okay.
Kids worked on it.
That's an
Possible.
option. That's
Okay.
possible.
Very
Yes,
possible.
I mean, from where I stand, it's not good.
It's rough. And I've only glanced under the hood and I was like,
I remember when I bought
there's a lot going on here. So
It's messy. As you guys saw in the last video, my buddies were unable to join me, but
busy.
I tried to give it a rough diagnostic and failed. Came up with no answers except why the clutch is broken.
nah, we're gonna figure it out as adulting comes along.
With
Figure
actual
out.
trained technicians.
Yeah.
We'll give you guys some good insight on how the diagnostic procedure works, but in the meantime,
Broken.
this is Great Basin Garage.
It is.
I
Thanks
don't
for
know
being
why
there.
I keep pointing at the camera.
Did they even plug the exhaust together?
It's not together. It's just a J
the exhaust
straight up.
stops at the front axle.
And it's so loud.
Okay, what do we say this thing is, a 15?
If you're gonna do something, just do it right the first time.
Yeah, but
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, but sometimes budget gets in the way of doing it right too.
You don't need a budget to bolt something together.
So what are we talking about here?
Bolting it together is the free part.
Yeah, apparently you guys forgot what it was like to be broken young.
I was never stupid. I may be dumb, but I ain't stupid. Step one of putting
magnetic
a
pickups at 2.
step one of putting a motor back together. Put oil in the damn thing.
Oil is important.
Well,
Hey, will you get some oil while you're
Yeah.
out?
Okay, how bad can we screw this up?
By Verus Engineering. It's got a cap. It's perfect.
Whoa! Whoa! I missed.
Oh my god.
I missed. Don't have much to say at the moment. Don's tinkering on the scan tool and we're just kind of standing by. Yeah, it sounds like it's missing a hole.
Definitely a dead hole.
Yeah.
if it's got a dead hole, how come it didn't trip a misfire fault?
Because Subaru's diagnostic, self-diagnostic system is not
It's slow.
the best system.
You know, it's funny, we get some cars where they're hypersensitive, and I've been in the car and I'm going, man, I cannot even feel a misfire.
I
Tripping misfires.
have dealt with a handful of Subarus that have a misfire, and there's no codes. So you don't know what cylinder is misfiring, so you got to do it old school and figure it out.
I mean, I guess we can. This side's pretty easy. We can pull spark plugs one at a time and try kill cylinders to see which one.
Yeah,
Do it really old school.
yeah, no.
So one of the ways that we used to do it back in the day before modern day electronics is if you had a misfire and you weren't sure which cylinder it was activating on, then what you could do is disable one cylinder at a time while the car was running, and you would keep an eye on RPM. And so when you disable that cylinder, you would either see a drastic drop of RPM or a minor drop of RPM. And a minor drop means that that cylinder that you disconnected is a non-contributor. Whereas if you disconnect it and you get a large drop, then it shows that that cylinder is a contributor and is not your misfiring cylinder. So the difficult part about a Subaru,
Oh, there's our advanced.
it's kind of tough for the viewers to see, but because this is a boxer engine, it's flat. This is one of the ignition coils. The other one's right back there.
Which is the hard one.
And these motors are super annoying to do spark plugs on and check coils because they are slammed between the engine and the frame. 1 and 2 right there. So that's what we're going to try to work on. And one thing, you see this clip right here? This guy goes in this groove to keep the coil harness installed. So that's kind of irritating. The back one's like that too. So we'll make sure we correct these. Pull these clips out, put them in their safety spot here.
That's bank 1, where cylinder 1 is. L is bank 2, where the other side is. The 60-degree advance is not good. -5, that's okay because it's in timing retard.
But it's calling for 0.
It calls for 0, so we're out of time.
One is not like the rest.
Earlier, we had fault codes for camshaft, bank 2A circuit issue. So we swapped those all around. We figured out it was a bad sensor. It happened to be a sensor in the cup holder here.
Good thing I left to go get one.
You left to go get one. We found one in the cup holder. So we decided to put that one in and see if it worked. We put it in and we no longer have that fault. But while it was running, since the camshafts sensors are working now, it threw the over advanced on bank 1. So looks like we're pulling the timing cover and seeing how they did the timing wrong.
Wait, we don't have super cooling here though. Whoa!
What's that noise?
I don't know.
Is that the electric water pump running?
It doesn't have
Oh, okay.
But you know those. Yeah, you can hear the stuff that's important.
These guys.
Oops. Oh,
Oh, it's in my face!
oh, he's directly below this.
I don't want to play anymore.
Don, are you okay?
It tastes shiny.
Oh, you know what, Don, your shoe actually makes a pretty decent pillow.
Is that what's on me?
Working on this lower hose.
I just thought that was the weight of disappointment you had for me. I'm gonna pull the serpentine belt off. Pretty simple system. Undo the tensioner. Someone put a nice new belt on this, which is great.
They put it on the logo backwards. It bothered me.
Yeah, the fact that they had it installed backwards is weird, but that's fine, whatever.
It's fine.
We're gonna loosen the alternator, pull the dipstick tube off. Let's get the connectors off for the oil pressure switch and the oil idiot light. Do you guys want to find out if it's out of time, or do you want to make it out of time by turning it backwards?
We have it.
It's really your choice.
I should put it in gear.
However you guys want to do that.
Put it in gear, stay on the brake pedal.
Yeah,
for a
let's put
second.
more tension on those tensioners that don't have oil pressure fed on them. It's fine, let's do that. Why don't you just put that on there and crank the motor over?
That's what I was going to ask.
That's a terrible idea.
It works way easier.
That's how things fly around and hurt people.
You just gotta barely crank it.
It's not going to reach anything.
Just barely give her a little bit of a snug kick.
Okay, put it on. Let's do it.
I don't want to do that.
Alright, so to our viewers, we don't have a crank pulley tool because it's at my house. There's one at work. There's 2 at work. And we're not there. So what we're gonna do is just gently set the breaker bar on the subframe, and we're gonna crank the motor over real quick and break it loose. So hit it. That's good, nailed it.
Did you lose it?
Oh yeah. Worked perfect. And I didn't break it.
So when we go to torque
Hey, great idea,
when
Rick.
we go to torque it on, do we just put it on this side and do the same thing?
Don't work that way.
I don't think so. Yes.
We'll bring the tool to torque it correctly.
The downside is that if you do that unsafely, the bar goes flying out, usually takes out some electrical lines, and you just try not to do that. This is great, because we're trying to get this cover off, right?
Yep.
This cover, which goes all the way to this side, has one piece. And then it goes all the way to that side, has one long piece on the front of the engine.
Timing cover.
Yeah.
If you miss one bolt, you break the cover. It's fun.
Oh.
I've never done that.
Oh,
Oh, it's a coolant line.
dripping all kinds of stuff. It's okay. You know we have cardboard.
Drew, this is a coolant line.
Yes, it is.
It's almost in the turbo, but it's not.
It was close, but it's not going in there.
Yeah. Let's just give the turbo an external coolant wash.
Nice little wash, you know?
All right, we got our directions to time it correctly because it's not timed correctly. It's as easy as that. Fixing cars is just a matter of your comprehension level, which some struggle with. It's in the coolant.
So we verified with the scan tool that the timing was out. So that's why we decided to start tearing into this. When we pulled the front timing cover off, the timing cover also has an oil pump in it. And this is the piece that drives the oil pump. It has a little keyway section in here that goes on top of the crankshaft. And then on the oil pump will run on these two flat spots here. And then you have your harmonic balancer on the front. Now the harmonic balancer gets bolted down, torqued to spec, and the keyway is what keeps it aligned and keeps it from spinning. When we come to the crankshaft here, someone had not lined up the keyway correctly, and when you don't line up the keyway correctly, there's no relief on this sprocket, so it just shoved that key deeper into the sprocket and actually broke the sprocket here. And that's a major issue. That's probably why the timing has jumped. If he even had it right to begin with, he, she, whoever worked on this before, this is why the vehicle is currently out of time. It's going to require a new sprocket at the very least, but then I found some other major issues. This is supposed to be this is a guide pin for the timing chain guide. There's supposed to be two. The lower one seems to be missing. And this upper one, the metal is completely pushed out as if it's been hammered on. In order to time this correctly, you're using the crankshaft keyway as a guide to where you need to set it. This needs to get set at 6 o'clock, which is basically the very bottom of the split of the case of the engine. Right now I have to use this spacer and this crank pulley in order to turn the motor over. So I'm making a mark, since the keyway seems to be missing, making a mark on these spots to tighten it up, and hopefully it stays in place for me to get at least a guideline to check what the timing is and how far it's out. There's chunks of metal in this thing somewhere.
There is definitely metal in that motor.
Are you done?
Yeah. This is how far out this side is.
You were using this part of the mirror.
I was wondering why it sucks so bad.
You should try using
This mirror was
You were literally
terrible.
just looking in the.
I was looking on the back side of the mirror. I was like, this mirror sucks. It's so bad. All right, so the crankshaft set at 6 o'clock. In order for us to take off, bank one timing circuit. And to check the timing circuit, we have this triangle here on the intake camshaft phaser faceplate. And we have this one here. They're supposed to point literally to each other, straight up and down. That's a really good indicator that the timing jumped on that head, which exactly flows with our PID data information that we were getting earlier. So 100% the timing is wrong on that head. So I think we have to go 45-degree angle to where this pin now matches up with this guy. That way it relaxes the camshafts off of the
Oh, that thing is so
spring.
broken from here.
Oh no, that thing's 100% broke.
Dude.
Now that we got the timing chain off, you can actually see the damage to the timing chain sprocket on the crankshaft. This is part of the keyway that was shoved inward because it wasn't lined up correctly, and it has broken off the teeth and part of that section, and that is what caused the timing to jump on just that one head.
Well,
Go ahead, Drew.
Neanderthals have Neanderthaled the engine.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's salvageable.
The news is grim. It's fixable.
It's not ideal.
It's not ideal.
I thought we were just going to adjust the camshaft, slap the chain on, and move on.
Cars tell a story. Humans lie. Cars don't. I think the guy that put this together was one of those kids in school that tried to put the circle in the triangle hole. Circle doesn't fit in square. But you know, with enough hammering, you can get anything to fit, I guess. But
But that is entry level. Technicians learning to be technicians.
so what happens when a lube tech says, "Don't worry, buddy, I can fix this."
Don't forget, we need O-rings too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
We need 4 O-rings on the.
So we have a few repairs to do to this car between crankshaft sprockets not being in great shape.
Oh, that connector's broken. That's cool.
One of the guide pins not there, as you guys saw. So,
Don't worry, it's in the hands of the adults now. We'll get it fixed. We'll get it running.
and
It's fixable.
we'll show you guys how we're going to fix this without replacing the block, because that's pretty costly.
We also don't know if it has touched the valves yet.
Correct.
True.
So
If the timing gets off far enough, you get what's called interference piston to valve contact, which can cause problems. We're hoping the timing wasn't off that badly.
Pretty off.
it was pretty off, but we are hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. We
Yep.
don't. This is a cool car. It's worth saving.
What? When did you turn the table there?
I talk a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, anything turbo all-wheel drive is pretty cool.
That's what we're talking about.
All
Make sure you
right.
guys subscribe.
Let's make it work.
Stay tuned.
And like.
And then comment. Great Basic Garage, out!
Interact with us. We're fun people. See ya.
Interact with us.
Oh, it's in my face.
Oh, he's directly below this.
I don't want to play anymore.
Don, are you okay?
It tastes shiny.